This is the cream of the crop.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my Resident Evil Netflix show summary and review. Last week, we did episodes 1 through 4, and if you double that, you realize we're going to have 8 episodes. So there's 4 last week, 4 this week. We're starting things off with episode 5, Home Movies. Quick little warning, this episode is filled with exposition and is kind of drug out a little bit to fill time, fill an episode, and we spend basically the entirety of the episode outside of the first 30 seconds and the last 30 seconds in the past with teenage Billy and Jade. So let's get things started off with the first 30 seconds where Jade is descended upon by the Umbrella forces in the opening shot. Supposedly their leader removes their helmet and Jade is stunned by what she sees. She is taken aback. We go into the title card and we go back to the past where Albert is calling his daughters on their cell phone, trying to get a hold of them, is alerted to activity at the front door when he checks the camera. He sees the 2 girls returning home. He breathes a heavy sigh and is interrupted by the head of Umbrella Security telling him Evelyn is looking for him. Albert is taken to the facility. They pass a great deal of merchandise, which is going to be marketed for Joy for Kids, and Evelyn is on the phone with Simon, her son, and lets him know he is grounded for going to that party that was busted up earlier. Albert, though, walks up behind her, and she says that she has to go and gets off the phone quickly. They go to the room where Angel is being held captive, and Angel is looking around. He's got a gag in. He's got headphones on. Albert wants to go home. Evelyn says he has to get information out of him, and when he tries to leave, Evelyn and the head of security block this doorway. So Albert goes over, removes the gag, removes the headphones, and Angel makes his biggest mistake yet. He whispers to Albert Wesker that he knows Albert's daughters, and this sends him into a fit of rage, and Albert clearly has no more problems torturing this poor soul. We go over to the house, though, where Jade and Billy at home talking about OG Raccoon City. Billy accuses Angel of being a liar and wants them to be happy for 1 second that she's fine, that she's not sick, and you know, they need to take happiness in that fact that everybody's okay for right now. Jade continues to poke and prod. Billy once again tries to shut her down to where Jade finally admits finding the file about Tijuana. That Umbrella is covering up people dying. Billy is clearly upset Jade hasn't told her anything, and Jade wants to prove more of what Angel said was true, that they need to find their birth certificates, and if they find those, she will eat all the ice cream that she wants her to. During their search, they find a magazine for a pistol right next to a dog whistle, and then they find their father's personal laptop. The girls are ripping through his room and just trying to find any evidence that they can whatsoever to prove whether or not Angel is a liar or is telling the truth. What happens is, though, Jade tries to use the typical password, Spock21, and when that doesn't work, Jade wants to call Simon. Billy protests once again, but Jade can't let it go. She calls Simon to get his help hacking into their father's laptop. He finally decides to help. They hack into the laptop, and there's a neat Easter egg about William Birkin, creator of one of the viruses and the main antagonist, really, of Resident Evil 2. And the biggest thing they find is that he has a dead drop email. This is going to be a photo of Simon basically hacking into the laptop, helping them through a FaceTime call. If a password is not entered every 24 hours, an email will immediately be sent to Billy Wesker, not Jade, with instructions on if anything happens to him, that he is to get this bag, get Jade, and get the hell out. They make a few offhand remarks, but Simon wants to help because if something were to happen to Albert, that means something could actually happen to his mother. So he's going to help them search the house. They've got to stay out of sight of these cameras. The girls are now following the clues left for them from their father to find this hidden bag in the house. They got to hide from these cameras, crawling around the house, jumping over the couch to avoid the smart cameras in their smart devices like the TV, the thermostat, the microwave, the fridge, whatever it may be. And they find the first clue. It's a picture of their favorite picture with their father and their father's favorite picture of himself with them. And what it is basically saying that it's to cheer up Jade. It's a song to help Jade feel happy. But Jade is bothered. She basically makes a comment that she's upset that this email was written to Billy, not Jade. And again, this is just her selfish bullshit coming through, and it's hard to ever root for Jade in this show. The answer to the second key is the piano upstairs, though. It's a tune that their father used to play for Jade when she was upset. It's another Easter egg, our second of the episode. The song is Moonlight Sonata, the same song that you play on the piano, whether you're Jill or you play as Rebecca, to open up that hidden room to get the golden crest. After playing it for a minute, they find one of the keys does not work. They remove the key and find that it's holding the second clue underneath. It's a piece of paper saying moving song, huh? Realizing this means to move the piano itself, they find a hollow board in the floor and they move it to find a duffel bag. This duffel bag contains about $10,000, multiple passports, a money and a gun, everything that they would need to escape. Simon makes a comment about how for sure their dad nuked that city, and Billy basically tells him to shut up, and Jade sticks up for Simon, asking why a comment is her problem and not all the craziness and lying with their father. Jade and Billy bicker again, Billy trying to look at the good in the situation, Jade calling their father crazy, not seeing that all their father's doing is protecting them and giving them a contingency just in case something were to go horribly wrong. This time, though, Jade screams that the email was only left for Billy, not left for Jade. Billy calls her out again. If it's not about Jade, it doesn't matter to Jade. It ends in Billy saying that everyone thinks she's the psycho, but Jade is worse than she is. Simon chirps up, tries to make an offhand joke to smooth stuff over, and Billy takes him off mute. He then tells Billy how much he likes her sister, whether she is using him or not, that when she cares, she really goes hard over whatever it is she cares about, and that she must really love and care for Billy because everything she's doing, Jade's doing it to try to help protect Billy. Jade returns to the room, puts Simon back on mute, and Billy apologizes again, saying she's just scared. And Jade says that if their dad is hiding this, what else could their dad be hiding? Still not letting go of anything that may be left uncovered. They resolve to stick together. They kind of put their heads together, literally and metaphorically. They want to know where something may be hidden in the house. And when Simon says the basement, they deny they have one. Simon takes them to where the basement should be located because Simon says, hey, look, when they prefab these houses, you either get a back patio and an herb garden or you get a basement. Those are your only, or you get a jacuzzi with a porch. But every house has a basement. They get to the bottom floor and they start pressing around until they unlock one of the panels, which reveals an RFID reader. Jade realizes the dog whistle must be the key to the extra key to this room. They blow on the dog whistle. They get Billy's little therapy dog to come down, and then they wave its paws in front of the reader. Bam! Just like that, the hidden door to the basement is now open. They travel down the stairs, the reception getting worse with every step, and they eventually drop the call with Simon. They turn on their cell phone lights to light the way, but as soon as they open the door and flick on the lights, it illuminates Albert's personal laboratory. It is filled with trinkets from the girl's past and old research, as well as state-of-the-art equipment and supplies, until they happen upon the chair that Albert was planning on restraining Billy in if she had turned into one of those monsters. Then they find the coolers filled with Billy and Jade's blood samples he has been taking all these years. Next, they find the box labeled RC 1998 and a DV player watching a recording if they wish. The first one they put in is titled Lisa. Lisa Trevor, the daughter of the architect of the Spencer Mansion, who was experimented on in this video. In the video, they hear their father order his team to kill the experiment if the experiment tries anything. Then they find the file where Albert was recording observations on Billy, talking about how she was fighting infection, but if she does turn, she will need to be contained. Jade goes to pack up the RC 1998 box and leave with it, as well as starting to unplug this PC. The security system immediately activates, and it's going to incinerate everything inside of the room, including any evidence, proof, and even the girls. And thus, the girls hop on a table in the center of the room. The fires start blazing when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, an extinguisher system turns on after a few moments, and as the flames die down, their father enters the room. Albert asks what they are doing down here, and there's a short back and forth, a lot of questions that need to be answered, a lot of answers that don't suffice, and as Albert goes to approach them, Jade threatens him with a scalpel. Albert grabs her arm, tries to tell her that he is their father, and they will do what they are told when Billy strikes him with a metal pan. She knocks him out. When he comes to, Albert Wesker has been restrained inside of that same chair he was planning on restraining Billy in. They ask, and he answers that the Cerberus that attacked Billy was infected with the T-virus and that it could have turned her into something inhuman. If infected, she could have been in the monster that they keep hearing about. So he had to have this chair, this contingency in place to restrain her. Albert, though, is shocked. She fought the virus off. She asks if it's gone. Albert wants to run more tests. Jade says no more tests. And he tells Billy how strong she is, how strong they are. Jade wants to know what he means by that, and Albert informs them that he did genetic experimentation on them to make them stronger while they were still in the womb. Jade asks why he has their blood, and Albert tells him that Umbrella allowed him to have the children, but he has to monitor them. He asks them about Angel Rubio. They tell him he knows Billy got bit, and Albert gets a bit frantic. He wants to be let loose so he can go handle this and keep protecting his daughters. He knows that they hate him. He even admits that. But right now, he's the only one that can save them from Umbrella. They let him go the next morning. When they're headed to school, he's going to head to the lab. And they wave at one random passerby like nothing is wrong. And we flash back to the present, where the biggest reveal of the story thus far has happened. And the episode where they're with the Brotherhood, Jade reveals that Billy died when she was 14. In the first episode, we thought Billy died when she was bit by the Cerberus. We thought she was infected. But that same Umbrella officer that removed their helmet is none other than her sister Jade. Billy's looking at her. Jade taking it in. The episode ends with 2 words. She says, "Hi, sis." This episode was a bit dragged on. Cool Easter eggs. William Birkin, Moonlight Sonata, the little little scavenger hunt around the house, if you will. The big reveal is really good. I really like the fact that they got an actress that looked a lot more like young Jade grown up than they did for They got an actress that looks a lot more like Billy when she was younger to play older Billy than older Jade for younger Jade. Because if you notice, younger Jade and her smile has no gap, and older Jade has a gap. So it's not like you normally grow into one of those things. You usually have them, and then you get them corrected. So I like that they gave Billy a much closer to resemblance actress than they did Jade. And I love that this is the reveal that Billy is actually with Umbrella, that she's still alive, and Jade has thought she's been dead this entire time. I got to give this episode only a 2, though. 2.5 at most. The Easter egg, the Moonlight Sonata, incredible. Love that Easter egg. Love the William Birkin. But I hate that I felt like this episode was just filler. It was just pure exposition to get to that big reveal at the end of Billy still being alive. Let me know if you disagree in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe. You know how the algorithms get down. But for now, this is Colin the Crow Clark saying thank you very much for joining me. We'll be back the rest of this week covering the rest of the series, episodes 6, 7, 8. And of course, Friday, we got a little change up, so we'll be back for that one as well. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you next time.